The BMus has gone through lots of different detailed transformations over the years that I've been involved, but one thing has never changed in that it is a broad introduction to the history of Western music. We broadly in the BMus have three platforms. We have performance, composition and musicology, and we don't push students into any one of those. The great majority of our students come to us thinking of themselves in terms of performance, which is understandable. We try to open up to them the doors of composing and studying music as a historical phenomenon and as a social phenomenon.
The Bachelor of Music degree, the BMus, has expanded dramatically in the past few years. Where before we taught the history and practice of classical music, in recent years the degree has expanded immeasurably so that we now look at music more globally, and we look at topics such as diverse as psychology of music. What is disco culture?
Disco culture is a module where we look at the beginnings of disco as an underground culture in the late 1960s in New York. In other words, we look at how the beginnings of disco was an alternative culture.
Because I think that composition should be a live thing, I think that people should hear the music that they've written. We're extremely fortunate with two new important relationships for Queen's. One with the Ulster Orchestra, with whom we have what we call a creative partnership, and the other with Belfast's own new music specialist, the Hard Rain Soloist Ensemble. Both of these ensembles in different ways are involved on a regular basis throughout our academic year in introducing students to the professional angles of the music business that they would not otherwise get.
We feed into the Bachelor of Music degree where we contribute to performance classes, to workshopping composition with undergraduate and postgraduate composers. We take part in concerts and recitals. I'm a graduate of this school, and if I'd had a resource like this when I was here, it would have been fantastic.
I think it's very important for the university students to come into contact with professionals in the industry. That is undoubtedly our role here. As far as composition students are concerned specifically, for us to perform their pieces, that's very often one of the first opportunities they'll have to actually hear their music, and that can be a life-changing experience for them, in fact.
One thing that is very striking about any music degree anywhere is how diverse the skills that are involved. You could be conducting a choir on Monday using social skills, you could be using literary skills to write an essay on Tuesday, graphic skills to write an orchestral score out on Wednesday, maybe technological skills to record a concert on Thursday. There are all these different kinds of demands, and for that reason a music degree is a fantastic thing to offer an employer.
I arrived in at the start of the BMus unsure of which path I wanted to take in music. I was able to do musicology, I was able to do performance and focus on composition, and able to focus on those right the way from first to third year. So in third year I was then able to decide what I wanted to do and focus specifically on composition. And I really appreciated that nurturing environment and that encouraging environment where I could decide on what I was good at and what I wanted to do.